Hi, Daryl. How are you feeling? Asked Vikan. I kind of miss my family and friends, transmitted Daryl to Vikan. A solemn calmness washed over Daryl. I meant, would you like food, or drink, or sleep, or to walk in nature, or hallucinogens? Transmitted Vikan. Daryl looked around the quiet room and tried to understand his body. There was a circular curtain next to the couches that appeared to be a glass pillar, perhaps supporting the ceiling. What were you guys doing before I got here? Asked Daryl. We were just chilling. We did some work this morning, responded Vikan. That sounds fine, replied Daryl. Can I have some water? Vikan grabbed a high-tech glove bracelet and offered it to Daryl. Daryl picked it up and looked at it. It was much too small for his hand and wrist. Vikan took it back and pushed some buttons on it, which made the fabric expand, and he returned it to Daryl. Daryl now slid it onto his hand and admired it. Vikan had his own glove on his hand now. He pointed towards what resembled a sink and clearly pushed some buttons on his glove. He then pointed, drew the water from the spout, and contained the liquid in a mass, levitating it towards himself. Vikan created a mass of water close to his hand, and then he waved the water to flow into his mouth. Daryl watched in utter astonishment. After a few moments of gawking at the miraculous spectacle, Daryl attempted to close his mouth and perform the same task. Water flowed out of the tap and then morphed into a ball in front of the sink. When the mass had reached a considerable size, it fell to the floor and splashed on the ground. Vikan erupted with laughter. He then motioned his own glove towards the water on the floor and lifted it up, pouring it into the sink and washing it down. Vikan did this as he walked over to the cabinet, grabbed a cup, and filled it with water. Vikan then walked over to Daryl and handed him the cup of water. Daryl drank it, stunned by the dramatic display he had just witnessed. The two walked over to the couch and took a seat. Daryl took another sip of his water as he gazed upon the three alien greys lounging around the living room. Again, the surreal moment of hanging out with some aliens blew Daryl's mind as he sat and stared at the others in the room. Hey, Daryl said to the other two alien greys. That's Zwu and Dim La La La, said Vakan. They are very high. What did they take? Asked Daryl. They have some fruits that grow nearby, responded Vakan. Would you like to have some? Is it legal? Asked Daryl. Everyone in the room erupted in laughter at Daryl's question. The penal system is quite different here, explained Vakan. You won't have the capability to break it. Vakan picked up a bowl of fruit from the coffee table and offered some to Daryl. Daryl took the fruit and took a bite. It exploded like a juicy strawberry in his mouth. The fruit appeared to have a much tougher consistency in his hand than it did when he bit it. The fruit was the shape of a pear, with odd spikes poking out of it. It was red, without any seeds on the outside. This is delicious, thought Daryl. All the others in the room laughed. These are some of the strongest psychedelics on our planet, thought Vakan as he took a bite of the fruit. Rizal is very proud. You guys seem pretty out of it, thought Daryl. Again, the room erupted with laughter at Daryl's question. Vakan waved his hand with the glove on it over his head, which lifted a ball much like a tennis ball, over that dropped into the living room. Vakan floated the ball close to Daryl to show him he can play with it. We are cyborgs. Everyone in our race is assisted in functional superiority through advanced technologies that develop with our bodies as we grow. Daryl thought back to the alien grey he had bashed in the head. Yes, thought Vakan, throughout our whole body. Daryl was using his glove to levitate the ball towards him and catch it. The technology made him think of the alien being that had summoned Daryl to him from the mountain. The alien greys shuddered at the thought of the large alien creature. Why are you telling me this? Asked Daryl. You are an organic life form, replied Vakan. Our race is connected through software that operates against psychedelics for us to function normally. You are an independent life form and will feel an incredibly potent high. All of the alien greys laughed harder than they had yet. Daryl continued to play with the ball and his glove. Who is that terrifying alien creature? Asked Daryl. They are colonizers, responded Vakan. They are mighty warriors that have enslaved our race, along with many others. Daryl was overcome with sadness. The alien greys laughed. Do you think your race has escaped their reach? Asked Vakan. Daryl thought of his abduction and the other people he saw on the ship. He then thought of all of the people that are abducted, that reach the news, and that no one cares about. As a species, humans were totally scattered and bumping into one another. "Are you going to hurt me since I killed one of you?" asked Daryl. "You will be amazed by our species' medical technology and our durability," responded Vikan. "Even if you had destroyed him, we cannot judge you based on the situation you were in. Any one of us would have not survived what you had been through. Bringing you here would be counterintuitive of your survival." The logic was perfectly sound to Daryl. He felt completely at ease as the psychedelics took over. Daryl began laughing hysterically at the sight of Vikan staring at him with his gigantic black eyes. Vikan levitated more water over from the sink and into Daryl's cup. Daryl attempted to levitate the ball with his glove once again, but it simply bounced on the table in front of him. Daryl's vision faded into a blur as he lost consciousness. Daryl clearly saw a large group of alien greys developing technology and advancing with their intellect throughout the ages. The bizarre flora and fauna was overwhelming and terrifying to Daryl. The alien greys would attempt to coexist with the animals and terrifying vegetation. In both cases, the alien greys would be eaten. The alien greys continued to work with their surroundings and attempt to understand them instead of fight them. The alien greys worked with the flora to build tremendous tools and associate with the animals that became subservient to their sovereign masters. They advanced their culture into an efficient infrastructure where the plants grew throughout the city and animals coexisted in the alien grey villages. For the most part, the planet looked peaceful and they were able to advance in all areas of scientific and medical education. The plants volunteered their herbal remedies due to their exceptional relationship with the alien greys. The creatures of the planet almost never engaged in violence or attempted to destroy. The alien greys built flying spacecraft with incredible transportation capabilities, armor suits to levitate themselves as well as things around them, translators for them to interact with any plant or animal they choose, and many other feats that did not seem important to Daryl. The alien greys then took a few spaceships to other planets. At first the planets were gaseous or unbearably hot, and then frozen solid outside of the heat of the star. They visited many planets that were unbearable until they came to one with large muscular aliens. It was the creature that had abducted Daryl on Earth. The alien greys emerged from their ships and attempted to communicate with them. The hulking aliens demonstrated their strength and physical prowess, but were ultimately docile with the visiting alien greys. The alien greys brought them food and drink as a communal effort to get along. The hulking aliens accepted the gifts and welcomed the alien greys into their civilization, as primitive as it was. The alien greys took some ambassadors of the large creatures to their home planet to normalize the new aliens to their species. The alien greys were excited to find a new species of aliens and overjoyed in their pursuit to identify more. Many more ships from the alien greys returned to the hulking creatures' planet. The alien greys approached the new species with gifts and an open embrace. The hulking creatures welcomed the alien greys in a large banquet. The alien greys attempted to learn the history of the hulking creatures and if the entire planet was populated by them. The alien greys received the answer to their questions in no time. Some spacecraft appeared in the sky, descending upon the gathering of aliens. More spacecraft emerged, all of them looking to be assault ships. Then a mothership appeared, surrounded by many more ships. Daryl saw a shadow cover the alien greys and felt an immense feeling of regret flowing through them. An armada of hulking alien creatures were on the ground, emerging from the spaceships and upon the alien greys in no time. The hulking creatures' numbers were enormous. The hulking aliens took to the alien greys and invaded their home planet. The alien greys did not stand a chance in the planet-wide war. It was clear the hulking creatures were simply predators. The predators enslaved the alien greys and incorporated their technology into their own army. The predators tortured the alien greys to fill their bodies with robotic body parts. The predators demonstrated the increased function and durability of the robotic parts. The alien greys exhibited tremendous sorrow and despair before ultimately becoming subservient to the predator species. The alien greys had no choice but to join the ranks of the predators and to do their bidding. The alien greys were forced to be slaves for the predators and work for them as intergalactic travelers and crewmates. They abducted many species on many planets for their terrifying masters. The modus operandi was always the same. The work became routine for the now android species. Their slavery was absolute. The alien grave flying saucers were incorporated into the Predator's armada, with cloaking abilities, incredible speeds, and large rooms available for transporting many beings. The abducted creatures were all transported to a large military facility. It occupied the entire planet that it inhabited, as well as the orbiting moons and satellites. The image of the planet-sized structure terrified Daryl, with all of the turrets and walls, fences, dangerous-looking rooftops, and other instruments used to bring death. There were humans, aliens, animals, and bizarre creatures, corralled into pens, clearly comatose, following whatever is in front of them. Daryl saw humans among the other aliens being dissected, delimbed, and harvested for organs. Full skins were propped next to the organs of the fully dismembered beings. In other areas, some of the most beautiful humans Daryl had ever seen, as well as other aliens, were placed into large rooms with bedding and cushions, all lying naked, lethargic, and some even spooning. Daryl now looked upon the planet once more and saw endless ships approaching in an organized fashion. The sight was more alarming than anything Daryl had ever seen. Daryl was swirling with terrified and devastated emotions. Not once in his life had he imagined anything as terrifying as what he had witnessed. He then saw a puppy, the most adorable puppy he had ever seen, run through the grass and towards a spring. There was a waterfall with a large pond and a small creek that the puppy ran and jumped into. Daryl followed the puppy to the shore of the pond and watched it emerge from the water once again. The puppy whooped in excitement at the sight of Daryl as it swam out of the pool. The puppy got out of the pool, moving excitedly. The puppy then jumped onto Daryl's chest as he kneeled down to pet him. Daryl fell on his back laughing as he held the puppy in his arms. The puppy now licked Daryl's face as he laughed with the puppy in his arms. Daryl passed out jovially in a sweet slumber.